All right, guys. We're gonna go into some back escapes tonight. First thing we're gonna do is just we're gonna reverse engineer what we've been talking about with back control, right? Who remembers our tenets of back control?
Have your whips in,
Yes.
seatbelt,
Yep.
make a body line with your spine,
Yes. Spinal alignment.
spinal line.
Yep.
Head on the shoulder. No,
Head on the shoulder, head position. Yep. What's the head position aiding in for the spine? Yeah, it's aiding in my. It's helping him prevent me from rotating. Right. If he takes his head position away, my head can freely rotate a lot better, which means my body can follow it a lot easier, right? But if he also, more importantly, or maybe like one of the bigger concepts going on, when he keeps his head position here, he has a strong chest to back connection, and that's really what's keeping us in line and that's keeping him sticky. What else? What's another big one that we haven't mentioned yet? Elbow position. Yeah. So if Hudson's elbows start to slip past the center line here, it becomes much harder for him to control, rotationally. But if he's got his elbow right here in front of the, and he's pinching them together, then even without holding his hands, he's got way more control. Just pinching the elbows at the elbow. So we're going to start working backwards to try to do things like get our head out of alignment of where he wants it or where he wants his head. We want to be able to deny that. We want to be able to deny him that chest to back connection. Like those are the things that we're going to be deny him the proper elbow position, like working backwards. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is if I can help it, and the drill right now is we're going to assume that you're able to. If we can help it, we're going to, if we can dictate where we're going, because we know the guy's got our back, we're going to fall to the overhead side, right? Because the best control position for Hudson is top side body triangle and bottom side underhook, right? This is what we've been drilling from. This is like his best control position. But if I'm gonna have my back taken either way, I'd rather fall to the overhook side because I'm gonna have a better chance of getting out. So the first thing I'm gonna do, first off, defensive grips. I want my thumb on the inside as quickly as possible on the inside of the wrist. I don't want like a monkey grip here. I want an inside thumb position, right? Next, I want strong claw grip. So I can use all 5 fingers right here on the wrist, and I can always be looking to pull my elbow in towards my pocket as much as possible. Okay, this gives me a good degree of control, and this is whether we're here or on the side. Just a good strong 2-on-1 means I've got an inside thumb at the end of the lever, and I've got a claw right here as my secondary hand, and I'm pinching my elbow down towards my pocket. This is good. This is a good defensive posture. So what we're going to look to do is we're going to take him to the overhook side, since in this scenario we can help it. And the first thing I'm going to do, though, is before I even take him over, I'm going to sit forward as much as I possibly can to try to go ahead and start creating some separation between his chest and my back and getting his head away from where he wants it, right? He wants to be ear to ear with me. I want to try to get as far forward as I can. All right, next, I'm not just going to fall like this, right? This gives him way more opportunities, right? If I just kind of fall and I'm dead, my body stays on, which the longer jiu-jitsu, typically, the longer your body gets, period. Like I'm always telling you, become a ball, because like it's a rule of thumb. The longer your body is, the more danger you're going to be in. Okay, the more easy to manipulate you're going to be. So I get my good strong 2-on-1. I'm going to sit forward, get my weight forward, and now I'm going to take him. I'm not just going to passively fall and take the L here. I'm going to make him. I'm going to take the fight to him, to the overhook side. So I'm going to actually post off. I'm going to post on my foot. And I'm going to push off towards this side. And then immediately as I'm falling, I'm bringing my knees to my chest. So it's going to look like this. I want to get my knees in. I don't want to be long. I want to get my knees in as close to my chest as possible. As soon as we land, I'm going to look to extend my foot and shift my hips out here towards the mat. Right here. As soon as I'm in this position, I can start stepping over hooks and shifting my butt to the mat, getting my back to the mat. At this point,
all he has left is just this connection so that he can hold it as much as he wants. And I can lift it right off my head. Right? He's not gonna be able to hold me like that. He's going to transition to try to either come on top, most likely to come on top, right? That's where you go before free play it out. But here, I'm leaning forward, I'm pinching my elbow in. I'm already starting to get his head out of where he wants it, right? Out of position. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post out. I'm gonna take the fight to the side. I'm not just gonna passively fall over. We're going there, all right? And as we're falling, bringing my knees to my chest. As soon as we land, looking to extend my bottom leg and immediately start shifting my hips out. Okay? Here, here, here. Right? If I can clear this foot, as soon as I can step over this foot, the battle's pretty well won. I can start shrimping or just pivoting my hips out to the side and then clearing the upper body connection. One more time. Any questions? All right, one more time. 2 on 1. Leaning forward, pinching the elbow. I'm going to take the fight to the side. Knees come up. As soon as we land, I'm looking to extend, push. If he still has a foot here that I need to clear, that's fine. I just want to make sure that I'm able to effectively get my foot to my own butt. As soon as my back's on the mat, though, we're good. Right? At this point, I can continue turning into him as I raise his seatbelt connection and clear it over my head. And then we can immediately start either trying to come on top or we can go into playing guard, whatever you want to do. It doesn't have your back anymore. That's the most important piece. All right. Any questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. So when we take them over, when I fall to the side, I take my knees to my chest. When I get back to here, I'm saying straighten the foot. Really, what I could better communicate this. Our whole goal is to get our hips on top of his leg and then slowly work our hips and our back to the mat. Okay. But when I say straighten my leg, it's because if I just start trying to come out, I run into his leg. So I'm telling you to straighten the leg so that it falls to the ground and a gap will open for me to actually start shooting out, right? So that's one thing. That's the reason I'm saying straighten the leg. Secondly, there's really going to be a series of shrimps here. I know we don't say shrimp in this school a whole lot, but it's actually one of those situations where you will shrimp a little bit. So I'm going to plant so that I can start to shift my hips out to the side. I'm going to shrimp out to the side. And it might be another one, and another one, and another one, right? What's up, Nick? Buddy? Long time no see. All right, so when I fall, when I extend my leg, it's just so I can get his foot to the mat and start creating an opening for you to get out. Then it's going to be a series of bumps. As soon as I can clear my foot over his foot, this is where I'm pretty well out at this point. If I can keep going around the corner. All right, any questions on that? So we don't say shrimp a whole lot in here, but that is one of the situations where shrimping is actually valuable. If you don't even know what shrimp is, that's because we don't ever warm up like that. But we'll come on Wednesday nights if you're brand new, you don't know what shrimp is, and we'll make sure that you know what a shrimp is. All right. We used to shrimp up and down the mats to warm up, and we save time now by not doing stuff like that. All right. Any questions? Everybody get a few more of these, and then we're gonna move on. All right. 1, 2, 3. So right here, fine. I got the question. If I start taking him to the side, and he is really persistent about keeping this locked right here, and where I can't get off center with him, right? Some of you don't know. Now you're gonna know. We don't cross our feet here. This is like the dead zone for hooks, right? If you have someone's back, we don't cross our feet in this position. If you're on a hip, something like that, different story. Can cross your feet here, but always know what because like sometimes it will help you retain back control if you're about to lose it. But you've got to know the risk that you're running. I throw my top side hook over, reinforce it, and then I'm slowly going to hip into him, and I get an ankle up. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, pop.
I was just gonna
Oh.
I was like, whoa, yeah, y'all yes.
friends, right? I'll never forget being buggy choked out. This has all been a ploy. Just to break his ankles. I figured. All right. But also, let's say he's gone across, but they're kind of like down here where I can't reach it. What does that mean though? That also means now our spine's no longer in alignment. Because if they're in the center, it means our spines are in alignment, right? But if they're out here where I can't ankle lock him, that means our spines are already coming out of alignment. So even if he keeps this strong shrimps this way, like he's not going to be able to just hold this. Like I'm going to be able to break that, right? So it's okay if they're really persistent about keeping their feet locked together. And if they're floating out there in the middle, you can just break the ankles. What's the other? Another. Oh yeah. The other thing is when we get down, we straighten, and we start coming out. Once I get to the back right here, I don't want to come so far away from Hudson like this, where when I clear, there's like 3 feet of space between us, right? Instead, I just want to clear the bare minimum I need. I want the bare minimum space in order to clear this this seatbelt he has, so I can go right back on the counter attack. Because I don't want to scramble with the guy if I can help him. He's also most likely, I mean, a skilled guy's gonna be looking to come up at this point or go belly down like Hudson likes to do and start recollecting the back, right? So like I got to be ready for that stuff too. But a rule of thumb though, I definitely don't want to just leave the fight entirely. So as I start to separate this, I only need this much space right here. You see how it's at the crown of my head now? His locked hands are now at the crown of my head. This means now he has no more control. And right now, this is a little contrived. Like I see this floating leg here. But you see how because I'm still like in the fight here, I'm not way up here, I can immediately start going on the counter attack. Okay. Like you don't have that option if I'm way out here. Okay. So we're just looking for the minimum amount of space to clear that cross face or that the seatbelt. Any questions on that? All right, let's do 2 more and then we're for real down to 1. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now from the overhead side, but with a body triangle. Now we're gonna start working on breaking this body triangle. So first thing we're gonna do is if Hudson's not being really disciplined about his foot position, and it's not really hidden behind, he's not really curling it in like this. Like right now it's pretty well hidden, right? But if he's not curling it in, if I'm able to scissor my legs, get my belly down towards the mat, and then bring my knees to my chest, I can bring his foot to me. Okay. But most people are gonna hide. First and foremost, though, before I even talk about that, my bad, is I still have my good defensive grips. This particular escape is going to involve using my secondary hand. It should go without saying, but if I am working on if I'm working on this, and he at some point strips his grip and he's starting to go for a choke, like defend the choke. Always defend the choke. All right, we can come back to this, but we've got to protect our neck at all times. Okay. So this is assuming that we've got a good inside thumb position here. And you've got to also know that as long as I have this, I'm safe. Like I'm going to be okay. And you got to be able to be confident in that so that you can use your secondary hand for this particular escape. All right. Okay. Let's say he's curling it down. So now if I try to scissor my legs, like I can't. I run into his foot, right? I'm not going to be able to get my knee behind his foot where I need it. So instead, I'm going to bridge up on this foot here, this bottom foot, and I'm going to look to get my elbow under his knee, like so. All right, at this point, even if he curls in and tries to hide it from me, I've given myself 4 or 5 extra inches here to work with. So now, as I scissor my legs, I'm always going to be able to get that knee behind the foot. As I start to bring it back in, notice I also put my chest towards the mat. As I start to bring my knees back towards my chest, I'm looking to catch this foot. I can also put my foot on my own knee, which is connected to the floor, right? So now I'm pretty well trapping this back. All I'm looking to do is trap his foot in between my legs like this. Once I have it here, I grab the outside of the toes and start to pull it up. At this point, he can start trying to relock it, or he might try to lock the bottom side. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be looking to keep this pulling pressure, and the same thing we just did, looking to get my hips out. Okay. All right. Good 2-on-1 defensive posture. All right. Next thing we're going to do, I'm not able to scissor because he's done a good job hiding his foot. So I'm going to bridge up onto this foot just to make some momentum to lift this knee off the mat so I can get my elbow under. Okay. Next, I'm going to go belly down, chest down as I scissor my legs. And I'm looking to now collect that foot as I bring my foot back to the inside. I'm looking to grab the foot, and I can also connect my foot to my knee here just to reinforce this. At this point, I can continue pulling this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Pulling his foot up. And notice I'm grabbing the outside of the toes. And I can start working, get my hips out. No matter how he tries to react, he might try to relock it. He might try to lock the bottom side. I should be able to always win that battle. And then we can start going on our counterattacks, whatever we want to do. Any questions on that one? Top side body lock, body triangle. All right, he's got it hidden, so I need to make space for my elbow to get under here. So I'm going to, I got active toes here. I'm going to extend my leg in order to get his knee off the mat and get my elbow under the knee. At this point, I'm able to get my knee behind his foot by going belly down, scissoring the legs, and then I'm able to bring the knee back to the inside so I can collect the foot. Put my foot on my knee, pull his foot up. Now, however he reacts, I should be able to win this battle to get my hips out, start misaligning my spine, and clearing the cross stage, just like we just did. All right, any questions?
That's really quick. That's great. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right, so first off, if we're scissoring this way, it's not going to help us, okay? And a lot of people are doing this, so I'm not calling out any particular person here. But look, the whole purpose of the scissor, so that my knee, as I bring it back to the inside, can collect this foot. So if I do it this way, I'm not going to be able to grab that with my knee, right? I need this top knee back. Also, we get okay. Also, this and taking our belly down. So go ahead and really hide your foot. Taking our belly down and having our arm under his knee is giving us the maximum amount of extra space that we need to beat that hidden foot, to get our knee underneath it. Okay? Because like right now, there's no way. No way. Now, as I go belly down, there's a way. Okay? There's a way for my knee to get behind that foot. So those details really matter there. Last detail, as I bring my knee back to the inside, I don't want to just bring it back where it came from, like the same direction it came from. I'm looking to specifically bring his foot to the inside of my legs. Okay? And if you can't, for whatever reason, reach, that's okay. After I have his foot on the inside, it's okay to go ahead and take this arm out. So right now it's trapped under his knee. It's okay now that his foot has crossed the center line. If I can't reach it because my arm is stuck under his knee, then just get your arm out. Because the whole purpose of putting my arm under the knee was just to give me those extra inches I needed to get my knee on the outside and bring this to me. Now that I have this, or that it's within reach, my arm being under his knee is serving me no purpose. So I can take it out. When we don't grab like this. We don't grab supinated. We grab pronated over the toes and over the pinky toes. Not out here at the heel, all the way at the end of the lever. And then we are immediately pulling it towards our chest. This is the maximum amount of immobilization. It makes it harder for him to move and start to recollect that body triangle. If he's down here, he might be able to recollect the body triangle. But as I bring it here, he gets much weaker. And I'm able to start turning outside. So those 3 details really matter a lot.
Especially which leg goes back and which leg goes forward. That really matters.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you bring the knee up and your foot moves up to your thigh, what about taking your foot and stepping over the thigh? Can you do that? And will it help assist bring you further?
You want to?
I'd like to see you try.
I'm not sure I understood.
I'll walk you through it. Please go to your stages and I'll tell you to stop.
Okay.
All right. Now, as you bring the foot back with your left leg, take your leg all the way and step over your other leg. And now grab. See how much easier it is to have that foot?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. I did in the I was watching Gory where he puts his the leg underneath.
Even better.
But this is actually not.
Whereas you were on the other side of your leg.
Yeah, I was
To
being
me, I would come past it. It's stronger.
I'm being lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Does everybody understand that? Did y'all see it? Here, let's say this over here.
Elon Musk calls me for answers.
All right. So Nick is saying when I bring this knee back to the inside, I'm just kind of moving my foot to the inside here.
It's a reach, and
But-
that reach is going to compromise your ability to actually maintain where you're at right now. Actually.
Yeah, and I can bring it to me for free. Like there's nothing, it doesn't cost me anything extra to go ahead and come all the way over my foot. And it makes it even easier to reach without having to even get my arm up. So that's a great point. Yeah, I've been kind of lazy with it right here, but this is absolutely better.
Any other questions?
It's 3 in this.
So starting from 2-on-1, 1, I need to make the space. Right. If I can just go back here and collect it, that's great. But let's assume we can't. He's hiding it really well. So 1, plant on active toes and start to take my belly down as I extend this leg, just for a brief moment to get my arm under his knee. Right there. 2,
That's 1.
that's 1. 2, I'm gonna go belly down as I scissor my legs, looking to get my top knee behind his top foot. Next, I'm gonna bring my knee back inside, and as Nick pointed out, we'll step over our own leg here, looking to collect his foot with my knee. Now 4, I'm looking to grab over and at the toes with this hand and start pulling it to my chest. Number 5, we'll start to get our hips out of alignment, whether or not he tries to keep the lock or not. However he reacts, as long as we keep this constant tension or I'm pulling his foot up, I should be able to start shifting my hips out, stepping to the outside like we did with our very first drill tonight, and getting my back to the middle. All right. 1, 2, 3.